Charles, can you hear it? Well, actually.
Well, he can hear us here on Bill's stream.
All right,
Let me go to your stream.
You folks in SkyTour LiveStream should now be able to hear me. I apologize for that. That was a technical glitch. That was all Amanda's fault. I mean, all my fault, actually. So I apologize for that. But you guys should be able to hear me now. Thank you for saying that. I don't know how I missed that. But I'm not in charge of the volume on this stream, unfortunately. I can't alter that. I really wish I could.
Okay. You're good on the other stream now.
Okay. Bill, if you can hear me, can you please come in here and do something about the volume? Because I can control the volume on my side anyway. And, you know, darn it all, he's not going to hear us. And I will look to see if the NASA feed directly does have sound in it. Okay. I didn't know what to expect. We kind of put this together really quickly, folks, so I apologize for that. Oh, there he is. Okay, Bill. Bill.
I'm here. Okay. I am here.
Okay. I'd like to be able to have it so that
we can hear them low in the background.
Yeah. And then I can do something about that.
Well, I can too. I got a mixer.
Okay.
So I can lower their volume, and you guys can speak over it.
Well, but then again, okay, you're gonna stick around, or do you have to go?
No, I'm gonna say, you wouldn't believe what just happened. Mom, of course, is a QVC junkie, and I just ordered hibiscus plants that are being delivered May 28th.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, in the middle of this.
Yeah. Hey there, Keith. What's going on?
Can you hear them, or do you want me to put the volume up a little bit more?
Yeah, I can.
It was confusion. Mark has his SkyTour LiveStream chat going too, his stream going, and there was no audio there.
Oh.
And I didn't realize, because Carol was saying chat can't hear the audio. I'm like, really? I could when I got here, and everyone else seems to. And then now I realize. Thank you, Carol. Thank you for looking out for us.
Yeah, thank you.
So do you want me to have this volume on in the background, or just wait?
Leave it on. I think that's fine.
Okay.
It's getting exciting. I have to admit, I am quite anxious, but very hopeful.
You want me to put it up more?
Going to do. We asked.
Yeah, you can put it up more, Bill. It's okay.
Okay.
Because if you're gonna sit there and write it, you'll be able to turn it down when we talk.
Yeah, there are pauses in between, so.
Yeah, but they don't. Yeah, but.
Hey,
that audio.
Cruise stage just separated.
Continuing to receive tones from Perseverance.
Oh my.
Coming by for cruise stage separation.
Here it goes.
It's coming in.
Nervous.
No, that's the lander inside the aero shell right now. It's about to begin entry.
That's correct. You are right. There we go.
Pre-landing simulation.
We have indication that cruise stage separation has been confirmed by the spacecraft.
Yay! I'm clapping.
We're off on a good start.
In about 1 minute, Perseverance's landing software will wake up and begin the final preparations for entry.
What?
The first thing it will do is to fire warm-up pulses with its entry thrusters. These pulses ensure that the spacecraft gets the thrust that it wants during entry interface. We're about 9 minutes from entry interface.
Yeehaw.
Okay, so now the vehicle's on its own. It's turning itself into the direction of facing the heat shield toward Mars, and will eventually hitting the top of the atmosphere. We're not far away. This is going to go very quickly from here on out.
This is animation associated with what's actually going on, correct, Mark?
Yes. Move your cursor out of the way there, Bill.
The cruise stage, as it passed through our beam to the Earth.
Telecom indicated actually that we could see a signal that the cruise stage went between the Perseverance entry capsule and Earth. So we saw a little blip, the data stream indicating the cruise stage separation.
Bill, your cursor is right in the middle of her forehead.
We started warming up those entry thrusters. Warm-up pulses have begun.
Bill cannot hear me.
I can hear you.
I was saying your cursor is in the middle of the screen.
At this point, the
There you
spacecraft
go.
is trying to stop its spin
It's gone.
from the cruise 2 revolutions per minute down to 0, and then will turn to its desired orientation from entry. It will separate the 2 balance masses that have kept it balanced during all of cruise. This will allow the entry capsule to have lift when it enters the atmosphere. We have confirmation that the spacecraft has turned to the desired entry attitude. We're about 7.5 minutes from entry interface.
That's gonna.
I'll be right back.
Vehicle
Okay,
is
Darryl.
pointed in the right direction. Thrusters are warmed up and doing their job. And now we've spun down from 2 revolutions per minute that the vehicle had the whole way to Mars as a spin-stabilized spacecraft. And then from here on out, it's going to just be a bullet, and it's going to control its orientation and attitude via rockets on the back of the back shell.
Points carrier log. Sorry, the DTE from Radio Science from Green Bank reports carrier log. They see the carrier in the downlink.
Amazing.
Flight level 1.
We are continuing to wait for entry interface. We're about 6 minutes and 45 seconds from entry interface. We have confirmation from Greenback that they are receiving direct-to-Earth telemetry via that path. The spacecraft Perseverance is currently transmitting heartbeat tones. These tones indicate that Perseverance is operating normally and has nothing significant to report. Just as expected. We're currently just over 6 minutes from entry interface.
Okay, and now we wait. As we get to the top of the atmosphere, it will be very quickly, which is the entry point. It won't be very long before the atmosphere will start getting thicker and thicker. It's going very quickly at a fairly steep angle of 15 degrees into the atmosphere, and as it starts to slow
We're
down.
just under, we're about 5.5 minutes from entry interface. We're still receiving heartbeat tones. We expect to continue receiving heartbeat tones until about 5 minutes after entry. At that time, Perseverance will be no longer in view of our antennas here on Earth. About 90 seconds prior to entry, the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter should begin receiving telemetry from Perseverance and streaming it to Earth in near real time. There are a few expected short outages, such as when we have a plasma blackout when we enter the peak heating phase. Aside from these outages caused by the plasma blackout, antenna switching, or high dynamic events, spacecraft events, we should have telemetry until about 90 seconds after landing. A plasma blackout is when the signal from Perseverance isn't strong enough to make it through the superheated, super fast air flowing around the spacecraft all the way down to Earth. Once the temperature drops below that peak heating, we do reacquire the signal from Perseverance. We are currently about 4.5 minutes from entry interface. Perseverance continues to report heartbeat tones, indicating everything is nominal.
Okay, what we're looking for now is Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter should be in view soon of our vehicle and be able to listen to ones and zeros coming from a separate radio that's really designed to talk between spacecraft.
MRO reports the electro radio is powered on, ready to receive signals from the lander.
Okay, MRO is ready and able and waiting to hear from our rover.
Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter has reported that it's ready to receive the signals from Perseverance. It should be in a few minutes here. We're just
Flight level 1
from entry interface.
Outstanding.
We don't need these
Nerve-wracking.
ones and zeros, as Swati said, but to land safely. But we really need it for our own health and well-being today to keep our nerves under control. Okay?
Around this time, a second spacecraft, Maven, should begin picking up telemetry from Perseverance and will continue to record that telemetry until several minutes post-landing. We won't get that data for several hours after landing as it's being recorded and then will be forwarded to Earth later. We are continuing to receive heartbeat tones. indicating that everything is nominal. We're currently at about 3 minutes until entry interface.
Okay.
Yeehaw.
Oh, yeah.
Very soon we'll be getting ones and zeros, I hope, from our radio on the Rover.
Listen to the breathing.
The entry interface is nothing more than just an arbitrary place in the sky that we've defined to be above the atmosphere. But from that point on, there's definitely atmosphere, and above it there isn't.
We are 2 minutes from entry interface. Perseverance is to transmit heartbeat tones, indicating everything is nominal.
So the tones can tell us whether something's bad or not is happening. So far the heartbeat is doing well. So the vehicle thinks it's in good shape to land, which is a great sign.
We're just under 2 minutes from entry interface. As it gets closer to Mars, Perseverance is actually being pulled in by gravity and accelerating. By the time Perseverance reaches entry interface point, she should be going just under 5.4 kilometers per second. We're at about 90 seconds from entry interface and standing by for Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter to pick up the telemetry.
Very excited.
We are 1 minute from entry interface.
Wow.
MROs are in receive mode.
We have confirmation that the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter is now relaying data from Perseverance.
Awesome.
We're about 30 seconds from entry interface. Perseverance is going about 5.2 kilometers per second and is about 190 kilometers altitude above the surface of Mars.
Wow.
Confirm your jet data flow.
About seconds from entry interface. 5.3 kilometers per second and an altitude of 150 kilometers from the surface of Mars.
There's Jezero in the animation. You can see it out there.
And Mark, it has AI guidance, right, to get it to
Correct.
a precise landing location?
We have
Correct.
confirmation of entry interface. Perseverance is currently going 5.3 kilometers per second at an altitude of about 120 kilometers from the surface of Mars.
Bill, when
So it begins feeling the atmosphere of Mars.
Go ahead.
Down.
I'm going to lower it so you can say what you're going to say.
Okay. When the entry is successful and the lander can see out the bottom, they have a camera program, AI as you said, that is going to determine where it is facing as compared to where it needs to be facing. You know, it's going to find the terrain map that
Gotcha.
is built
That's right.
for the landing, and it's going to move around until what it sees corresponds with what's in its brain, and that's where it's going to head for.
Copy.
Yeah, it's going to steer it. You know, so that's new because they need it for this area because this is on the lobes of outflow from ancient waterways, and it's very turbulent and tumultuous there. The rocks could be terrible, and it could be a very bad landing site. So they have to have an ability to steer to a particular site that looks like it'll work.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
are the steps in order
Mark,
to...
did you get a chance to see those 4K images I sent you a day or two ago?
I did. They're beautiful.
And the sedimentary nature of the rock was just absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
I'd never seen it in such detail before.
Yeah, we see it in craters. Remember, like Victoria Crater when with Curiosity and Opportunity. I'm sorry.
Boy, you talked about evidence for liquid water. If it ever was, that was it.
Oh yeah, very clear.
From Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter.
Look at the guy. Look at his right leg. I'm nervous. You betcha. Nobody will blame him.
Still continuing to perform bank reversals in the atmosphere to control its distance to the landing target.
Right, that's the nav cam. There's a navigation system for that. The lander vision system. Now there's parachute cams to make sure the parachutes deploy right. There's descent cams.
This is going about 1 kilometers per second and an altitude of about 16 kilometers from the surface of Mars.
Wow.
We have entered heading alignment, which means Perseverance is no longer trying to control the distance to Mars, but to the target on Mars, but instead is flying straight to the target.
Yeehaw.
You saw that controller with his legs shifting and bouncing.
Parachute.
I was doing the same too.
I
heard him say parachute. I'm thinking the drogue. When the drogue coming out?
Wow. Y'all are showing like 3 different things, or they're out of sync.
Yeah.
Looking at all 3 streams.
Is about 550 meters per second at an altitude of about 15 kilometers
Slowing
from
down.
the surface.
Well, the atmosphere is slowing it down.
MRO is reporting good telemetry log.
We are coming upon the straighten up. We are starting the straighten up and fly right maneuver, where the spacecraft will jettison the entry balance masses in preparation for parachute deploy and to roll over to give the radar a better look at the ground. The navigation has confirmed that the parachute has deployed, and we are seeing significant deceleration.
The drogue is deployed.
Our current velocity is 450 meters per second at an altitude of about 12 kilometers from the surface of Mars.
This is nerve-wracking. I gotta tell you.
Not? There's the drogue. Drogue chute will, obviously reduce its speed to the speed that it can deploy the main at.
Sonic speeds, and the heat shield has been separated. This allows and the cameras to get their first look at the surface. Current velocity is 145 meters per second at an altitude of about 9.5 kilometers above the surface.
As Daryl just mentioned.
What did I say?
About the cameras. Now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the EDL, entry, descent, and landing cameras.
Yep.
Yes.
Tell us.
Now
Really?
radar lock on the ground.
Nice.
Velocity is about 100 meters per second, 6.6 kilometers of the surface of Mars.
They should label these people's roles. So when someone starts clapping, this is the radar guy. Okay, he's happy.
Yeah, they're labeled.
The parachute girl, she's happy.
Yeah, parachute girl.
whatever,
I love it.
He is about 90 meters per second at an altitude of 4.2 kilometers. We have confirmation that the lander vision system has produced a valid solution in part of terrain relative navigation.
Awesome.
We have priming of the landing engines.
Ooh.
Priming.
Yep.
Not firing. Yep. Priming.
I know. Still, it's priming.
Yes.
Velocity is 83 meters per second at about 2.6 kilometers from the surface of Mars. We have confirmation that the back shell has separated.
Good.
We are currently performing the divert maneuver. Current velocity is about 75 meters per second at an altitude of about 1 kilometer off the surface of Mars.
Wow.
Here in Safety Bravo.
We have completed our terrain relative navigation. Current speed is about 30 meters per second, altitude of about 300 meters off the surface of Mars.
Yeehaw.
Here it comes. This is the big moment.
We have started our constant velocity accordion, which means we are conducting the sky crane, about to conduct the sky crane maneuver.
We've lost direct to Earth tones.
As expected.
As expected, yes. Make sure people know that.
Started.
There's a sky crane.
20 meters off the surface.
Wow.
There we are. There's the rover, the white thing at the bottom. Sky crane's lowering it down.
Oh.
Well, not yet. Hang on.
From MRO.
Everyone should be jumping off their seats in a second, right?
Any moment.
Touchdown confirmed.
Yes!
We did it!
Ready to begin taking advantage of past life.
Beautiful.
At this point, the service stage has flown away to safe distance. Perseverance is continuing to transmit direct through Mars Iconic Orbiter to Earth.
Nice.
Oh my God. Oh. Oh.
No reports, they're still getting telemetry from the lander.
Nice.
Second successful sky crane maneuver.
Touchdown confirmed. We're going to wait for the images.
Oh.
Gonna wait for the images.
How long for the images?
Beside
sure.
themselves.
11 minutes, Mark?
It's so surreal.
Well,
Stay tuned. We might get some pictures.
you gotta wait now, because we're seeing what they expect happened, and all they're getting, what they're getting back by signals means that it's already taken the 11 minutes to get here, the date of the tier, so it's on Mars safely. This isn't simulated. It's on Mars safely.
And the first image may not be, super quality, so don't be disappointed.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be a HazCam or a NavCam type image.
Yeah.
Like usual. Or, the mast isn't even deployed yet, so the mast is still folded down. It'll have to fold up, go through diagnostics, so that's probably going to be one of the last images to get.
Yeah.
As expected.
So, are we going to actually see the descent from, like, the lander's point of view? Like, were their cameras active at the time of the landing?
You know something, Amanda? The number of cameras on this dwarfs the previous missions. Okay, there's 23 cameras on this lander, okay? There were 16 in the Perseverance engineering suite alone, okay?
News that Perseverance is alive on the surface of Mars. Congratulations to the mission. And looks like we have some more news in. It looks like we're getting the first image.
HazCam image.
Look at the first image.
Or NavCam, I'm not sure. Look at that little tiny screen. That's hilarious.
Point on the map when you are ready. We are ready, OL3. Go for it.
Let's find out where we actually landed.
Show it to us.
Don't worry, you'll see it. You're going to see it so many times over the next few weeks, you'll be sick of it.
You the safe zone that we've landed in.
Breaking up, Mark.
Yeah.
Oh, it was?
Nice.
There it is.
Nice.
Just put the first image from Perseverance on the surface of Mars. Now, it comes from the engineering cameras, known as hazard camera. This camera is mainly used to help the rover drive safely around Mars, and we will get higher resolution photos later in the day.
Pretty good. I wasn't expecting anything that clear.
Well,
that's a really nice image.
These are the HazCams. Well, you notice it's dusty. I mean, this Sky Crane actually has a lot of rocket thrust that it's blowing down. So some of that is going to disturb a little of the Martian soil, and it gets blown up a little bit. Not much though.
Mark, just so you know, your new friend Kriston just joined your chat.
Oh, hey, Kriston, how you doing? Where is he?
Persuade him during the interview to check it out.
I did. We talked about it.
Yeah.
Is he? Actually, is he in Bill's chat or mine?
I believe it's yours, Mark. Kriston is the host of The Rundown live on KGRA.
Yeah. I was just on his show, Kriston T. Harris, from 1 to 3 Eastern Time. It was wonderful. He's a great guy. Very knowledgeable, too. A lot of astronomy knowledge in that guy, let me tell you. It's very, very much, it's a lot of fun talking to someone who actually knows astronomy. Because you can say things, and of course the audience may not, so but the host knows, and I really appreciated his questions. They were really intelligent questions. So he's here. He's in the SkyTour LiveStream chat. And those of you that are in Bill's chat that have not been over here to SkyTour LiveStream, please come on over and join us and subscribe. It's free. You know?
Nice.
Yeah.
So what do you think? How long? A few hours before we get any, like, really high res?
The mast cam has to rise up. The mast cam has to boot up, and they have to do diagnostics with it. They have to calibrate. Okay, the has cams are the ones that are always available. Look, there's a Rover wheel on the right.
Yeah.
So that's another image from another has cam.
Yeah. And Mark, as I mentioned to you the other night, data transmission rate's going to be a real plug in the whole setup here.
Yeah. There's so much video that you want to transmit. This goes back to the question you asked, Amanda, and Daryl just said it very succinctly. The problem is that video takes a lot of bandwidth to get to us. And it's just, in general, what they did was they actually captured video of this landing from the lander. Okay? And that video has to get then sent back to NASA, but it's going to be sent back in sort of like a trickle, so.
But we will eventually get it, though.
Yeah,
I didn't know if maybe they didn't turn the cameras on until they had a safe landing because it might interfere with, I don't know, some kind of frequency or something. I don't know.
No, these are called the entry, descent, and landing system, and these cameras are going to will have already recorded, for instance, the parachutes overhead, the parachute overhead lowering the lander, the rover down, and the sky crane together, and then the sky crane has its own cameras looking down at the lander descending from the sky crane, and that is a video that is going to come in, and it's all part of the lander vision system. But I think the rover uplook camera is the one that's going to be the best one. That's the one that's on the camera that's looking up. It's going to actually capture the sky crane detaching the cables and flying away and crashing.
Wow.
Yeah. That's going to be a viral video.
Wow.
Absolutely viral.
Yeah. Well, we'll just have to be patient until then.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Just incredible.
And the data transmission rates, I mean, that's going to be like back in the days of dial-up modems, too. They're mostly going to be getting a real slow trickle of information. It's going to take them a while to build an image.
Yeah. These images, though, the still images from like the Mastcam Zs, those will be out there. You'll see them daily on the NASA 2020 site. You can actually look at the raw imagery, and I knew that so many people were looking at it in the last for Curiosity mission. That mission, they were looking at it, and so many people saw things. Look at that. That's a person. That's a this. That's a that. That looks like a cement block. I mean, you're going to find all these things on Mars just that have naturally occurred too, and you can't discount the fact that it could be something naturally occurring. It just happens to look like something that we recognize. That pareidolia was in full force with Curiosity. This kid needs to be smiling more. Come on, smile more. This is a huge thing. What are you doing sitting there with your hat? Jeez. I love it.
Well, so we can keep an eye on the website for the imagery, right? I'm sure NASA will probably be streaming later as well.
Oh, you're going to find this imagery all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for, if there's video of the descent, it's going to take some producer and editor a while to assemble that footage.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
You may not see that right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, over on my channel. Sorry, go ahead, Amanda.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was going to say over on my channel, I wanted to say hi to Ian, Kendall, Carol, Carl, you, Amanda. You're on mine. Shandy, and Terry Groff came out to see us. That's great. McGillicuddy, thanks for coming out. Guy Savelas, Julian Vibrado, how you doing? Daryl was there too. Nice to see you, Daryl. And I'm talking to you now. And Rockstar, and Daisy and Zoe Amethyst. And let's see, we had some a new person there that just came in that I saw. And I'm trying to find him. Tara, of course, and well, a whole bunch. There's a lot of new people out there. That's great. Roni Hassan, I've seen you before. Thanks for coming. Randy Harris, thanks for showing up. Nice to see you too. And don't listen to Marianne. She's just giving you garbage on that channel there. But don't worry about it. Isabella Melamed, how are you, Isabella? Nice job on the photos. Isabella has been taking some of my raw imagery from SkyTour LiveStream, and she's processing it herself and doing a really nice job. So maybe I can share some of that with you guys when she gets to the point where it's looking hot, because it really looks good now. And let's welcome the rundown. Kristan T. Harris, welcome, man. And let's see, Charles Smar is with us here. And those are people that are bouncing back and forth to the other site with you too as well, Bill. So doesn't matter. So yeah, a lot of good comments out there too. Anybody has any questions, go ahead and throw them out there. And
they're asking, it's SkyTour LiveStream. That's Mark and Amanda and Daryl over there at SkyTour LiveStream on YouTube. That's the channel.
Right. And
hello to everybody watching on my channel as well.
Yeah, and I'd like to take it and get that get my channel link out there. So I'll just do it right now.
Yeah, put it in the chat.
See if people want to watch.
And hello to Camp Busker.
Nice.
So yeah, now we just sit back and wait, I guess, in a few hours and check the website to see if any imagery is coming in, new imagery, high res.
That's right.
And you're going to be on tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time with Lee Spiegel on Edge of Reality.
That's correct. That's correct. Lee's a fantastic friend, has been for many, many years. And we have the greatest conversations. Lee is one of these guys who, every time he says something, something intelligent comes out. The guy's really, really good, And I believe on Monday, I'm going to be somewhere on Earth, aren't I? Peter Robbins show. Is that Monday?
Oh, are you? You're going to be his guest?
I think so. Yeah, you're not producing that one, so you don't know.
No, but I have to set it up, so I do. Right. I need to know.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I think that's the show. That's Monday. I hope I'm right.
Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, that's the guy.
And Amanda, I want to say I hope you have a great time with your family tomorrow.
Thank you. It's not only my dad's birthday, but my cousin's birthday as well. So we usually do a combined thing.
Wow, that's fantastic. Happy birthday to them.
And it's Johnny's birthday today. If he's out there listening, happy birthday.
Johnny Unitas, what's up? Happy birthday.
So Mark is what did you say now? You're on your way to do something for the Navy or something? What did you say you got to do now?
I gotta head out here. I'm just waiting for any more photos to come in, then I gotta head out and go get my a boat hull that I had my caster make for me for a new Navy ship, a Navy boat, I should say, submarine. So I'll be doing that in a minute. Not in a minute, but whenever NASA says, okay, we'll be back later on today or something,
Well, I think NASA's now going to have an official news conference. I don't know the time. I think it was roughly, maybe one of us can look this up. I think it was like 5 p.m. or 5:30 Eastern. They were going to do a press conference based on everything that just occurred with the landing.
Yeah. That Sky Crane, I have to tell you, is really an amazing technology. Because it's amazing. You saw how it works in there. It lowers the lander. Everything has to work right. As Daryl had said the other day when we were on SkyTour Radio, it's so easy to think any one little thing could go wrong because it has, and And Mars is hard to get to. But after millions of miles of journey, it actually got there. And it landed flawlessly. So think about this. The technology has been flying through space in the vacuum. And in space, there's no temperature. There's no hot, no cold. There's whether it can absorb radiation or give off radiation. And that would lead to a temperature. If you tested the temperature, say, of the components on the lander, they would have a temperature. But the actual objects that and all the little tiny pyrotechnic bolts that have to fire, all those things, every single piece of this lander has to operate in conditions of like minus 400 degrees Fahrenheit or more, close to absolute zero. They have to be able to operate at that temperature. That means millions of dollars of research for each of these components, And, under those kinds of conditions, things get brittle, things can contract, things can just shatter spontaneously. So, considering all the different kinds of materials that the rover is made of, for this to actually be, something that's successful every time so far with Curiosity and now 2020, means a huge amount. There's a huge amount of technology that's crossed our desk in the last few minutes.
Someone mentioned, what about audio? Are we going to hear in any part of what we just witnessed? Are we going to hear audio of the when it was landing, or is it going to be more based on the terrain for the audio?
No, you're going to hear that. There was a microphone that was listening and recording the entry and descent and landing. So you'll hear it. You'll hear the sky crane engines. You'll hear the rover winding up. All that was recorded. So there, as Daryl has pointed out repeatedly, correctly, there's going to be some technology bottlenecks for getting all this information to us.
Yep. And that may go with one of the other questions in there. Let's see. Yeah, there's a mic. Ashar Wasim, will we get like an 8K photo or lower quality? You will get a really good photo right away, because it takes time to send it. And again, most of the time, as I understand it, it's going to be acting like old-fashioned dial-up modem speed, the transmission rate. I gather there's one of the orbiters at Mars that can serve as a high-speed relay, but they only talk to each other once a day.
Yeah, there's
that's
the
for
drone.
about 8 minutes.
There's the drone. I watched this test. This was really beautiful. It works. It's really loud, though. Even in a near vacuum, you can hear that sound. Really loud. And by the way, they just showed the Russian mission to Mars before that. You saw them spinning propellers. It was only in black and white, but it was, pretty interesting.
There's going to be a lot of great stuff coming from the rover in the upcoming weeks, months, years. It's going to be amazing. And the samples. Yeah. That's going to be really interesting, those samples that it takes.
Yeah.
So China's lander is already there, and the Arab Emirate is on its way.
It's
not. Do I have that backwards?
That's no. China's lander is in orbit, as is the Arab Emirates. They arrived earlier than we did. But I don't know.
They didn't land yet.
Yeah, I don't think China's lander's on the surface yet, though.
Oh, I thought one already landed. We were the second one to land, and then someone was going to land after. Okay. I thought there was already one there from another country. No.
I can't wait to see this kind of footage.
China's been busy, Amanda. They recently landed one on the moon.
Yeah.
Maybe that might have been what you were thinking about. Yeah. And then they have this one. Again, the UAE craft is a pure orbiter. It will never land. China has a lander and a rover, just like we do. But it's in orbit, and we just came in hot and landed, and we're successful at it.
Yes. This drone here is called Ingenuity on the Perseverance rover, and Ingenuity certainly represents a lot. And you should have this audio up, Bill, so people can hear this. This is a good segment.
We push further, try to go further. So our priority will be to get back engineering telemetry and not so much images, but I'm sure to return a few, because they'll always look cool.
At this point, we've tested all we can on Earth. We have mathematical models that shows how it will fly at Mars, and we've tested it in the simulated environment that we can create on Earth. It really is time now to do the real flight test at Mars.
Nothing is a given, but we have done everything we can in terms of a test program here on Earth. The vehicle's performing extremely well so far. It's been doing exactly the right thing even right now when it's bolted onto the Perseverance rover. So there's a very good chance that we'll pull it off, yes. But it's still high risk, and none of us forget that you could have a glitch that, could mean end of mission, yes.
It's going to be exciting, reacting to any surprises we have. We can't wait. What's really most important is everything we're learning here is for the future rotorcraft systems that we want to introduce into space exploration.
Amazing.
I want to answer a question I saw, if I could. Connie Elliott says, so are we the first to land on Mars? Of the 3 nations that are there now, yes, we're the first ones, but we were not the first to make a soft landing on Mars in history. Okay, the Russians actually landed on Mars many years before we did with a soft lander. And that's kind of interesting. They were the first. So, but it wasn't very noteworthy, and most of their missions failed, actually. Of 25 missions they did, 8, let's see, only 2 were successful out of, I think, the 25 they did. 2 were successful. All the rest were total failures.
We've had a much higher success rate.
Yeah, 18 out of 20 that we did made it and did it right. Spirit and Opportunity were the with Pathfinder and Sojourner, if you recall that lander and rover. That was another bouncing ball landing, I believe, and Spirit and Opportunity were bouncy balls, but you couldn't steer those. You couldn't say where you were going to end up. You could have ended up perched in a valley, where you couldn't get out. Very likely, too. Luckily, that didn't happen. But with this rover, steering to a particular landing site was essential, because we were looking at this from a point of view of saying, look, we want to get ourselves to one particular spot. And it has to be a spot that we know will be a footprint big enough for our rover to at least get out of, too, once it's there. It has to have a way out. If it's surrounded by big boulders, well, then we're going to have a 30-foot square place to play around in for the next 3 or 4 years. And this thing's going to live another, this will survive, if it works like we suspect, it's going to survive another 10 years.
Yep, that's that radioisotope power source.
That's right, the RTGs, radioisotope thermoelectric generators, the things that powered Cassini and Galileo and all these other missions that were fantastic, New Horizons. And they have a limited amount of fuel, so there will be a time where they do run out of fuel, But Perseverance, oddly enough, is storing samples for retrieval later by another mission. It's designed to have something else roll up to it and extract other rock samples to get them back to Earth. Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yes.
And then the even cooler thing is that, once those samples are retrieved, then what they're going to do is they're going to be able to study the Martian soil directly in our labs. That's amazing stuff.
Well, it's been interesting.
The Chinese intend to do the same thing, too.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, the more nations that do it, the better. I think that we need to do that. If you notice that drone sitting right behind her, you see the NASA logo on there? Mm-hmm. The actual payload inside there is only slightly larger than that. It's the size of a softball. That's the size of what's inside that square foil container. And that's the payload. That's as much as they can lift on Mars right now with this current technology. And the way that rover gets delivered, they showed a little video. It's actually attached to the underside of the rover. And the rover's going to drive to a spot, and it's going to literally drop this thing out on the ground and then back away from it. And then it's going to, it's already dropping it on its legs, and that's going to, deploy the wings. And it's going to do testing to make sure that it's actually, proper. Actually, I think for the first 30 days, all they're gonna do is testing on the ground. They're not gonna do any flights for about a month, and then when they get the confidence with the vehicle's performance, then they're gonna send it up, and that'll be video that we will of course want to see, which, as Daryl has pointed out, will take a long time for us to get.
Yeah. I have been wondering, not to sound dumb, but I was not unsure if there was a physical tether between the rover and the drone, and I guess it's fully autonomous.
Yeah.
Once it goes and does its mission, to fly in the neighborhood, I assume it's going to return to the rover every time. It's not like they have a landing board on the rover, but it'll come back and park for the night or something of the sort.
Or will it hop around and just stay around it?
Well, if you notice on the top, it has a solar panel. That's to trickle charge its battery. But the fact is that it's kind of interesting. I said it this way, I think, on the show, Daryl. The Perseverance rover has its own drone, in a sense. I mean, Perseverance is going to tell it, okay, go fly. That's not going to come, from ground controllers. They're going to relay it to the Perseverance rover, and then Perseverance says, hey, these guys say go fly, and then they're going to do it, which I think is pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah, that's Buck Rogers stuff right there.
You got it, man. You got it.
There's the briefing, 5:30.
Yeah. All right, so that's a little over an hour. So,
yeah, this is a wrap.
Yeah, this is good. So I'm very pleased with how this has gone. I'm really happy that you guys stuck with us on our channel. I got to run down and I got to start building this Navy model. Hey, that's funny. What is that doing on the screen there, Bill?
I have no idea, but it's still part of NASA. That's all I
is.
know. It's got the NASA logo.
Okay. That's Gary Newman. I bet he's singing Cars. No, he's not. That's Gary Newman, though, the guy who did Cars.
I haven't seen him in a long time. I can't believe it.
He looks like a walking plastic surgery guy, though.
He looked like that when he first got famous.
He did.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's
wasn't to flying, or I know he had an interesting hobby. I don't know if it was cars, literally cars, or some of their.
He is still around, I know.
Yeah,
clearly we're seeing him.
I've seen him on YouTube where he's performed with other artists.
Wow.
Anyway, I want to thank the three of you for being here for this.
Thank you for having us. This is very exciting. I'm glad that we were all together for it. Everybody in both chats, I had them both up, and
yeah.
And see all my friends join us for such a good occasion.
And from my side, I want to thank folks for coming out and watching for a while. We're gonna terminate coverage for now, and we will be back a little bit later.
So now, if people want to check back in an hour, where do they go? Just NASA? They'll be covering it, or just search it on YouTube? Or
search it on YouTube and look for the NASA press briefing. They may not have very many more pictures than we see now, but the cameras that are the lowest resolution are these has cams, so those pictures are easy to send. So we're getting a lot of those pictures first, because naturally they want to look around all the wheels, and there's going to be 6 has cams for 6 wheels, and they're going to be looking and checking all around the wheels, make sure that all the wheels are intact and proper. So there's an awful lot of stuff that they're going to do, maybe a day or so, a day or two of maybe more of diagnostic stuff they're going to do before they ever tell the rover to move. So there's a lot that has to happen before it moves. But we're on Mars. Everything is great, okay? So I'm really pleased that it was successful. And I'm really happy that I can go now and pick up this model I have to build.
And get ready for Lee Spiegel.
And get ready for Lee Spiegel, right?
Yes.
And
And Amanda's going to get ready for I Detective with Marianne.
That's correct.
Yeah, 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on KGRA DB on YouTube. Exactly. It's also on Facebook, KGRA.
We made
it's also on a whole bunch of other places that I can't even find. So
we made it. Made it. Dun, da, da, da.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Marianne Robb made it back to see. She went to see some of the pictures. She just missed out on them. Hopefully, she'll scroll back and see them. But check her out tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern.
Absolutely. Actually, she's kind of running the show tonight, isn't she?
Next week.
Is that next week?
Next week, she's going to be kind of taking over for an all-female officers appreciation night.
I thought that was this week. I'm sorry.
Just a note, I posted a link to the NASA Mars 2020 clean feed to both your streams. If people want something they can refer back to later.
Thank you very much, Daryl. Thank you very much.
And Connie wants to know if you're keeping the stream bell. Probably not,
I don't think so, just in case.
And Mark, will you be keeping yours?
I think I'm gonna, because I don't think we've done anything that violates a copyright. You know, NASA's a publicly funded organization.
We were talking over it the majority of the time.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Except for when you brought up
I
Gary
thought
Newman.
if you said it was for educational purposes, NASA allowed you to use it.
That's correct.
As long as you don't monetize or whatever, which you guys weren't. But
well, it was. No. I think it was monetized, but no one did. And I'm very happy about that, because I would not have accepted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not monetized.
Good. Well, thank you again, everyone. Have a lovely evening. I hope everyone had fun out there listening and watching. It was a very exciting night.
I know, it was wonderful. So we'll be back again, and you can look for us next Sunday on SkyTour Radio from 6 to 8 with Amanda Curran, ta-da, and Daryl Mason, ta-da, and me, ta-da. You know,
and our amazing producer, Bill Skywatcher.
Who's that? Bill? Bill who?
I think it's me.
Oh.
Thank you, Bill. Thanks for having me on, everybody.
Okay, Daryl.
All right, you guys. Have a great night.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
All right, guys.
Bye,
We're out of
everyone.
here. We will see you on the flip-flop. See you later.
All right. Good night.
Bye.